The price of American groceries has taken up a lot of air in our political discourse as of late, and the role that factor played in the election has become a frequent dunking point for the left to use against the MAGA camp. See Exhibit A, Americans, we just want cheaper groceries and gas. Donald Trump, best I can do is buy Greenland, which is pretty funny, I must admit. Another person, it's funny how you guys claimed you elected Trump for cheaper groceries, and he's already admitted he's not bringing them down and said he's going to start wars with Canada and Mexico, which this whole mess is a conversation for another day, but you get the point. The whole groceries talking point continues to feed a lot of our discourse. And obviously, I think that's valid. Americans are right to be mad when we have inflation, particularly because that inflation is a direct result of policy choices that were made, very bad policy choices to spend a lot of money that we don't have, and also to print a lot of dollars to supply that money that we didn't need to do, and to continue spending those dollars in ways that do not benefit any of us. People should be mad at all of those factors. But what I think is interesting is that the foreigners who come to America are not complaining about our grocery prices. Instead, they are marveling at the state of our grocery stores. A new trend showing the reactions of people who have come from across the globe to America and entered our supermarkets is both adorable and enlightening, and it's also reminiscent of the time that an American grocery store helped put an end to communism, which is one of my favorite pieces of pop culture history. So let's discuss. First, I'm Hannah Cox with Base Politics. Welcome to my channel where I bring you my politically homeless takes on politics and culture. Before we get started, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and of course, ring that notification bell so you never miss one of my episodes. So the first video I want to show you today is that of a Cuban man who is entering an American Costco for the first time, and he is going absolutely viral, and it's for very good reason. The man's sheer joy and excitement and awe, I think, is a very good reminder for Americans of just how good we have it. Okay, so I'm playing it without audio because they have music on the background, and also I need to translate, but he's coming in with his eyes closed, and then she says, "Open your eyes," and his reaction is just the sweetest thing I've ever seen, because you just know this man has grown up without having access to food, like to basic things that we have in our stores. He's lifting weights with the meat. He says, "I can exercise with this." Look at people just buying meat, and his face is just like a dagger. He said, "There's so much meat here." And he's just thinking about his people who can't access this back in his homeland still. They don't have the ability to get basic supplies. He says, "Look at the apples. That's amazing." And he says, "When I came here, it said I was an alien. Now that I see this, I am an alien from another planet." And he also goes on to say, "You never think you'll get here until you step foot and say, wow, it really is real." And he's just, his whole reaction, just taking it in. There's so many emotions on his face. I really can't put myself in his shoes and imagine coming from so little and seeing this. I mean, it's so heartwarming. Also, it's just very sad. I love him. And I have so many friends who are from Cuba who are communist survivors or whose families are survivors of the communist regime there. So I know firsthand just how desperate the situation is there. I did a debate on the Jubilee Network a number of months ago, I guess over a year ago now, about communism versus capitalism. And I was just shocked and appalled at how uneducated the communist supporters were on that panel, how little knowledge they had of what the state of Cuba currently is for the people who are trapped there. They were completely fed propaganda here in America and just believed it. And I thought it was so odd, because there are a lot of Cuban immigrants here. There are a lot of communist survivors from all over the world here. I don't know how, like, what you're doing in your life to where you don't know any, because I know so many people, although I guess it does track because they're going to be attracted to my circles and my movements, not those of communists and progressives. But still, if you're in America and you're getting caught up in these ideologies, seriously get outside of your bubble and just go talk to some of the people who have fought tooth and nail to get here and to survive those regimes, because you look like idiots simping for these ideologies. And inevitably, as this video started going viral, it was being shared by a lot of other immigrants who were talking about their own experiences coming to America and experiencing our grocery stores for the first time. There were the far left, ridiculous people coming in and saying, well, like, this is just because we have an embargo on Cuba. That's the only reason they don't have very much food and they can't get supplies. No, it's not. Okay. I hate that talking point. I think it is like at the intellectual bottom of the heap when it comes to defenses of communism. First and foremost, if your ideology cannot sufficiently run an economy, run a country without being able to leech off of the riches of capitalism, then it's not a very good ideology. You understand that, right? Like, capitalist countries are never sitting here saying like, well, we just really need to be able to trade and get goods from communist countries in order to survive. No, because capitalist countries have the engines they need to be productive and to create wealth and to make sure that the scarcity of resources are amplified enough to where everybody has enough to survive. Okay, so it never goes in reverse. That argument makes absolutely no sense. And secondarily, it's not like the entire world has an embargo on Cuba. Cuba is in poverty because communism will always lead to poverty. It is a broken ideology. It is something that I cannot believe grown adults continue to believe in. It really, when you meet a communist sympathizer, and I do lump like socialist sympathizers, progressives, all of them in the same kind of camp. I don't care where you are on the spectrum of like communist sympathizing. It's like meeting an adult who believes in Santa Claus. That's how it feels. Communist countries don't work because there is no profit incentive there, and you will therefore never have enough supply. Because newsflash, people don't wake up each and every day wanting to go to work and do all of the things that are required in order to make an economy run if there is no profit incentive for them. It will always collapse, and that's why this same thing plays out every single time this model is tried in every single country, over and over and over. And you can see them in the comments to this video alone. This person said this has to be real. Some people were trying to say this was staged, which is like, it just shows you how far removed they are from the people who have lived this reality, the fact that they think this would need to be staged. He says, my wife is from Belarus, grew up in the Soviet Union. First time she came to the US and saw a supermarket in the mid-90s, she was so overwhelmed she had to leave the store. Another person on Twitter said, I can relate to this feeling, having grown up with food rationing in China. The abundance in Western grocery stores contrasts sharply with my experience of scarcity. Anyone who has faced food shortages in a socialist or communist society immediately recognizes capitalism's superiority when visiting an American store for the first time. Grocery stores in the US are the unsung heroes that helped the West win the Cold War. And she's right, but I'll circle back to that in a minute. Another person said every Romanian family that would come to the US in the 80s would have pictures inside grocery stores. We all couldn't believe the amount of food and products available. Like, our grocery stores are a tourist destination. Here's another person that says, staged? Have you ever been to countries like Cuba? You don't know what you're talking about. This is exactly what my reactions 35 years ago when I first stepped into an American supermarket looked like. Can't believe the selections and the quality. And it's worth noting that while more extreme, this grocery store trend doesn't just apply to communist survivors. These videos are going viral with Europeans doing the exact same thing. In fact, I happened to notice my friend Eric post this on Twitter. He says he was at a New Year's Eve party and he met a couple from Germany who were there visiting the host, and they were extremely excited about a planned outing to Costco and an outlet mall. They'd brought extra luggage to take stuff back. I could not be more thrilled for them. It's so wholesome. And I've seen videos like this on TikTok, actually. Here's a few more examples.
This is what I'm most excited for, the snacks. Oh my god, Dorito minis. I'm gonna have to get them. They're cutesy little ladybugs. I'm obsessed with this Dr. Pepper packaging. It's giving authentic. Oh my god, I need to try one of these. What have we got? Milk Crunch. Hershey's Kisses. No, they got rainbow brownie Hershey's Kisses.
I'm having them.
True. Get in. Ian's got the freeze-dried Skittles. We've got Hershey's Kisses, Dorito Minis, True. Oh my god, guys. Look at this pink Starby string. Look at these huge Twizzlers. I'm going to have to get a Snapple. They've got lemon tea, Snapple apple, or kiwi straw. Right, Em's having a lemon tea.
I'm in.
What's this?
We're going to try some Nerds Gummy Plus.
Right, we've got freeze-dried mango slices, strawberry vanilla drink. We tried these ones before.
Blue Tackies. Where's the chocolate milk?
I'm going to show you everything that I brought back from America from my recent trip. I don't know how I fit this all in my suitcase. I genuinely don't know how. Look how big this bag is. Tide pens, if you don't know, get to know, they're just like an on-the-go stain remover pen, and I just think they're genius. I don't know why we don't have something like this in the UK. I can't believe I got this. If you are not on the right side of TikTok, then you don't know what this is. This is a moisturiser that went viral on TikTok, and it is the scent Vanilla Cashmere. Now, you can buy this in the UK. I actually saw another creator talk about how she pays like £26 on Amazon to get this in the UK, but it cost me $8 in Target, so I had to bring a couple back. Oh my god, I can't tell you how good this smell is. I smell like a vanilla cupcake all the time. And then I also got this scent, which is just like a fresh and cozy scent, which smells just, it just smells like I've come out of the bath. It smells really good. So I got those moisturisers. Yeah, these are from CVS, and I just couldn't leave them behind. So I got 3 little pumpkins. How freaking cute. So I got these pumpkins. They were $3 each, which I think is kind of a bargain. And they're these little cushions, and I kind of just want to like sit them all around my room. Honestly, had no room in my case. Again, I don't know how I got any of this home, but I couldn't leave this behind. It was $5. This in the UK would cost at least £10. It was $5, so I paid like £3 for this in the UK. And I just think it's adorable, and it's going to sit on my bed this season. I think it's so cute. Got lots of deodorants, which these aren't that exciting, but I got like a double pack of these Mitchum deodorants. You can only get the small ones in the UK. They're so big, I had to get them. And then I got this one because I saw a girl on TikTok talk about it, so I thought I would try it. It's like a gel. I don't know, apparently it lasts 72 hours. I'm not sure. This is the Dove deodorant. Love this one. Got this last time. Love it. Oh, some hygiene bits. I got a toothpaste. I wish I got more toothpaste. Idiot, but I got a Crest toothpaste, and I also got these Listerine strips. I saw someone else talk about these, and I saw them in Target, and I just thought I had to get them. Just take them in your handbag, and you can have nice breath all the time. Genius. Honestly, genius. Cookie mix. Love this. I had this from Trader Joe's in America. I made them, and they were so good. I had to get it here. A tin of pumpkin. Don't ask me, you probably can get pumpkin in the UK, but I just really wanted this one. I made a pumpkin pie with it when I was in America, and it was so good. So I picked up a pumpkin puree. Of course, some Chick-fil-A sauce. I also got the other flavour, but I must have put it in the fridge. I got the Polynesian one, and then this regular Chick-fil-A sauce, because this is so good. Ranch, obviously I got a small one because I don't know, I was worried that I wouldn't drink the big one, so I just got a mini one, but it's really cute. I'm so excited to have that with some chicken. Taco Bell sauce. I managed to find Taco Bell sauce. I love the hot sauce from Taco Bell. It's not even that spicy, but it is so good, and I put it on everything. I've already used this, and I had it on my burgers the other night, and it was so good. I think this was a little bit of a rip-off, I can't lie. So this is a vanilla syrup from Alfred's. Alfred's is a coffee shop in America, if you don't know, but it's a delicious coffee shop. And I saw this, and it just said world's famous vanilla syrup, and I thought, that's really luring me in, I'm gonna buy it. And it was $12 for this. Some spicy honey sauce. I'm actually going to put this in my breakfast this morning. Trader Joe's hot honey. So good. There's something about it just being from America. It's probably worse for me, but I'm not mad about it. Pumpkin pie spice. Never seen this in the UK, and I just thought for autumn, I like to do a lot of baking, so I think this will come in handy. So I got 2. The classic everything bagel seasoning, of course. Delicious. Really does taste like a bagel. Love it. Trader Joe's. Then I got this crunchy chili onion sprinkle blend from Trader Joe's. I don't know, it just lured me in a little bit, and I just thought that looks really pretty and I want it. So get yourself to a Trader Joe, because everyone is spending, oh, I've actually got it here. Everyone is spending $10 on this, which is amazing, I can't lie, love it. Did buy one. However, the Trader Joe's hand sanitizer is $1.99, and it's amazing. It's so good. It smells delicious, and you just, from Target, this was $5 again. Here I feel like you would pay a lot more for this. Here we go. It's a pumpkin candle. I mean, you obviously can get candles here, but I just thought it was really cute, so I did get it. And I got this bag from Trader Joe's because I think it's just adorable. It was only $3, I'm pretty sure, and it's just a big tote bag, and I really like it, and I actually will like use this here in the UK because I love a tote bag personally, and I love this. It's like a melatonin drink that just helps you sleep. I only take this for emergencies. I don't take this every night, that's so bad for you, but if I really need to get to sleep and I'm a bit of an insomniac rat, this is really handy. So I got that. So if you have any other recommendations that I can get from America next time I go, please let me know, because I could be going pretty soon, and that would be really exciting.
So not only are American grocery stores a marvel compared to what's available in socialist and communist countries, they're also a marvel compared to the rest of the Western world. That is how much richer we are. I've made whole videos about this, about just how poor Europeans are in comparison to Americans. And I think because a lot of Americans have not traveled outside the US, they haven't been to these countries firsthand, they haven't witnessed that. And so they are able to be fed propaganda and manipulated into thinking that like Americans just have it so bad. We're so bad off. We have it so much worse than all of these other countries, which just could not be further from the truth. And the comments in response to videos like this just continue to back that up from all over the world. Here's another person. I know a woman from Poland who wept the first time she went into an American grocery store because she realized she'd been lied to her whole life. Here's another. Having grown up poor in Tokyo, my parents would be extremely hesitant to buy oranges because they were relatively expensive. Now we have dozens of oranges and mandarins to choose from. America is so rich. I mean it from my heart when I say I wish more people could come here. One more person, I always laugh at those Cuban goes to Costco videos. Lads, when an Irish person sees the insanity that is a US supermarket and the mile-long Oreo aisle, we are also awestruck and shocked. I have had the opportunity to travel to several different countries, and I'm very fortunate for that. I think that's a very good thing for people when they're able to access it. It really does help you to become more cultured and more appreciative of your own culture in many ways. And I also am a little bit weird about this, but I have a grocery store background, okay? My grandfather actually owned a chain of grocery stores in Alabama. I have grocery store in my blood. I'm actually super peeved that he sold that chain off when I was a kid, because I feel like I could have been a very good grocery store heiress. I would have been great at running grocery stores, you know, like honestly, I still might do it one day. I love grocery stores. I think they're fascinating. I love looking at all the different kinds of food. So I always go into grocery stores when I'm in other countries. I'm very interested and curious around that. Also, it's nostalgic for me. My parents met working in my grandfather's grocery stores. I worked at a grocery store for my first job. So yeah, I'm like a grocery store junkie, but I love to go explore other countries' grocery stores, and they're interesting and they have lots of different kinds of foods that we don't have. But what I'm always struck by is just how small they are, how few options they have. And it really is just such an interesting contrast. As this person also pointed out in the comments, it's funny because whenever I run into a USA expat while traveling, near the top of things they miss about home is the supermarket and large refrigerators, and they'll get misty-eyed over the memory of a second refrigerator in the garage. I mean, don't even get me started in the amenities department of what we have and they don't have. I'm gonna try to stay focused here, but when you think about the sheer scale of our choices and our options and the low prices on top of it, it is really astonishing. We are so spoiled and so far removed from what it is like for the rest of the world that we don't even appreciate it. And it's worth emphasizing till the cows come home that that is only possible thanks to capitalism. I've had a lot of people ask me to do a whole YouTube video on like my favorite books. I don't think that would do that well on YouTube, but I will kind of like litter that through my videos since so many people ask. I think a really good book for people to read when it comes to this subject, and also a very easy read, is a short book called I Pencil. I'm pretty sure it's available online for free, but it is a very good, easy deep dive into the economics that explain this, that break down this whole conundrum. And essentially it explains that in order to produce a simple number 2 pencil, you need so many resources. You need so many people being productive. You need so many things that go into that it would be impossible to even centrally plan the production of that simple item alone. When you think about the lumber, when you think about the rubber, the metal, and it just goes through piece by piece, all of the things that go into acquiring and producing the components that make up a number 2 pencil, which is relatively simple compared to something like an iPhone or a computer or a house or a building or a bridge. And even just to make that, it would be impossible to centrally plan. You need so many people, millions of people who are rationally pursuing their self-interest, aka profits, in order to have the kind of productivity and natural social cooperation that enables the entire machine that produces the whole, that leads to the incredible quality of life and the incredible number of options that we all have at our disposal. That kind of social cooperation, that kind of productivity cannot be centrally planned or motivated by a government, at least not efficiently. And that's why you always have scarcity in communist and socialist and progressive systems. And that's why there is no ability for us to enter that kind of system and actually lift all boats. It's why communism will always fail, no matter what, and capitalism will always lift all boats, which is why I've said for some time, capitalism is also a utopia. We might never actually reach an actual pure capitalist system, but it's very clear which one we should keep trying to achieve. Because when we try to go after the communist utopia, it leads to death and destruction and just terrible quality of life. When we just try to achieve capitalism, just the pursuit of it, we see greater wealth, greater life expansion, a greater quality of life than mankind has ever known in just a short 250 years. Now, I said I was going to circle back to this, and I do want to touch on it because while I think at least people in my circle know about this story, it's like iconic, I'm betting that's a nerdy, weird libertarian thing, and probably a lot of you aren't familiar. So years ago, I'm pretty sure when I was still a baby, like in the 80s, maybe early 90s, there was a Russian leader who had just come into power, Boris Yeltsin, and he came to visit America, and he was taken into a American grocery store, and it literally converted him away from communism. Watch this.
Yeltsin and his team dropped in with little notice to the grocery store in Texas. He was shocked at the huge selection of food that was available to everyday people in the US. Just look how excited he is here to see some simple frozen treats like Jell-O pudding pops. According to media, Yeltsin told his colleagues that if the Russian people saw how superior US supermarkets were, quote, there would be a revolution. Unlike in Russia, American customers didn't have to wait in line for hours just to get in. This simple visit would play a huge role in his decision to take the Soviet Union away from socialism and towards a market-based economy. Yeltsin would later write in his autobiography, "When I saw those shelves crammed with hundreds, thousands of cans, cartons, and goods of every possible sort, for the first time I felt quite frankly sick with despair for the Soviet people. That such a potentially super-rich country as ours has been brought to a state of such poverty. It is terrible to think of it."
In conclusion, it is very good that Americans consistently demand better. It's good that we question why our food has become more expensive than it should be. It's good that we are questioning what's in our food and what our government has done to our food system. We should be demanding better. We should be demanding more. While we are very rich compared to the rest of the world, it's also true that we would be even richer without the corrupt mixed economy we have because our government has become so entrenched in our market, so involved, and it is also wasting our resources in so many ways that make us poorer and poorer, okay? They cannot keep spending. They cannot keep driving us into debt. They cannot keep printing. They cannot keep sending money overseas. A lot of things have got to come to an head. And I love Americans for that. I love that we are never satisfied and that we do not accept the state of things. That's good. And that's why we're at where we're at. And it's why we need to keep pushing so things ultimately keep getting better. But it's also important to remember how good that we have it because there are many entrenched interests on the left and the right that want you to forget so that they can manipulate you into moving in a different direction away from capitalism so that they can enrich themselves and entrench their own power. All right, guys, I hope you liked this episode. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you've not already, and if you want even more content, you can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, or Instagram.